This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, a sleepover of a different kind, while more than 100 people are preparing to sleep rough in the CBD. A local artist launches a book showcasing a project that encompasses the many different faces of Carisbrook. And the miniature library craze is about to go global, and it's all down to the efforts of a Dunedin woman. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. More than 100 people are preparing to voluntarily sleep outside to raise awareness about homelessness. The annual event is being held in the Octagon in order to attract the most public attention. And the exercise is raising money for those actively getting people back on their feet.
Testing the ground. Volunteer coordinator Sian Watts is getting ready to host around 150 people keen to sleep rough for a good cause. She says it takes a lot of work and people to get everything set for the Central City event.
It takes a band of committed student volunteers and myself, and some really great support from organisations like OUSA and some financial support from the university as well as the Otago Community Trust, and lots of people running around doing lots of different aspects to pull this event together.
Benches and doorways are sometimes used by those sleeping rough, and in southern winters it's far from ideal. Watts says that's why this year the Sleepout is again raising money for the Dunedin Night Shelter Trust.
The purpose of the Dunedin Sleepout is to raise awareness and funds for our Dunedin Night Shelter, which provides emergency accommodation to those experiencing homelessness in our community. So it's very much about highlighting what they do, raising awareness with some parts of the community who don't even know they exist. So that's really why we're doing it.
The event is timed to coincide with the opening hours of the night shelter, beginning at 7 p.m. on Friday and ending at 8 a.m. the next morning. The temporary homeless will be kept company by a range of local musicians, including Abby Wolf, the Intersectionalists and the Acoustic Paintings. Watts says she's thankful to all the sponsors who've gifted things, including cardboard, for participants to sleep on and under. Daryl Baser, 39 Dunedin News.
Thousands of dollars worth of computer equipment has been stolen from a local primary school. Brockville School was broken into at around 3:30 yesterday morning. Those responsible took a number of laptops and other computer accessories from inside a classroom at the Brockville Road site. Police are currently reviewing CCTV footage of the incident and are confident they'll track down the offenders. They believe another break-in in the area around the same time may also be related to the burglary. A local artist is breathing new life into a former project in the hope of preserving the work for years to come. Aroha Novik's The Brook Project was an art installation celebrating the long history of the Carisbrook site in Caversham, and now it's set to be the focal point of a new book.
A series of embroideries has been hung around a shared art space on Lower Stewart Street. Artist Aroha Novak is putting the final touches on the space ahead of her book launch.
The Brook Project was a site-specific art project. It was an art installation that was held at the Carisbrook Stadium site last year.
The arrangement of the embroideries in the new space represent themes of pre-settler Carisbrook, colonisation and rugby culture. Around 25 of the pieces were stolen from the installation site earlier this year. Novak says a book is a good way of preserving the vulnerable work for years to come.
Being able to document a project which only happened for a day and then have it in a book format with other people contributing to it it's a great way to see a project through to the end.
She says it's also a way to acknowledge other artists who contributed to the project.
And it's just a celebration of the project, and I just need to acknowledge the other people who came together and helped.
Novak says the book is an artistic pursuit in itself, and she isn't ruling out writing more in the future. Before that, though, she's off to Auckland to stage another site-specific art project in September. Jack Conroy, 39 Dunedin News.
A new interim chief executive has been confirmed for the Southern District Health Board. Current Nelson Marlborough Health Chief Executive Chris Fleming has been appointed to the role. Fleming has worked in the health sector for more than 20 years and has been in the Marlborough-based role for 3 years. He'll take over from departing Chief Executive Carol Heatley, who announced her resignation earlier this month. Heatley will finish in the role at the end of August. Fleming will take over in mid-September and is expected to stay with the DHB for approximately 6 months while the search for a permanent CEO takes place. Over the past 18 months, a host of miniature libraries have sprung up across the city. Lilliput Libraries is a community project started by local woman Ruth Arneson, and it's an idea that's about to go global.
Personalising a mini library. Ruth Arneson's Lilliput Library idea, which launched just over a year ago, is beginning to outgrow its namesake. It's an idea that began following a chat with a family member based in Australia.
My son was living in Melbourne and he found a little free library at the end of his street and sent me a picture, and I just looked at that and thought, I can do that. And I thought that would be a really good project for the year. Yeah, I was looking for a poems and waiting room project.
There are now more than 30 of the small community libraries around Dunedin, and more planned. Arneson says it's an idea that's also set to expand both nationally and beyond.
There's 35 in the community right now. I've got another 50 planned. They're either being painted or made. Somebody in Wellington wanted one, someone's gone up to Wellington. There's 4 due to go to Queenstown. And I've had interest from Australia, but the cost of getting them there, so I've just sent people in Australia our plans.
Arneson works part-time and curates the Poems in the Waiting Room pamphlets in New Zealand. And in her alleged spare time, she stays busy spreading the word about Lilliput libraries. Daryl Baser, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, we take a closer look at the Labour Party's plans for South Dunedin, and St Paul's music director prepares for a new life in Sweden.
So August is our winter sale month, up to 50% off. This winter hasn't been cold enough until now, but we have to get rid of all this stock. We've got all these jackets. Also to keep you warm and me happy, at 50% off, we've got all this knitwear. For all of August, we've got great savings on moleskins and jeans. Plus we've got all these warm shirts, look at them all, from $50.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
First in, best dressed.
You can make a difference for the SPCA this Cupcake Day. It's the sweetest way to help animals in need. For more details, go to spcacupcakeday.co.nz.
Wooltech have the experience and the expertise to supply a wide range of high-quality New Zealand-made products and can manufacture customised products to meet your individual requirements. Wooltech, great people, great products, great service.
Driving Miss Daisy is a safe, friendly and reliable companion driving service.
Hello Jean, where are we off to today?
We form genuine friendships with our clients and help them to remain independent. Thousands of Driving Miss Daisy clients and their families love our caring, affordable service. Call us today for a quote on 0800 948 432 or visit drivingmissdaisy.co.nz. Driving Miss Daisy, for the gift of independence.
Mobility Solutions Centre Dunedin provides products to improve your independence, comfort and safety. Contact the team at 4777 195 or visit mobilitysolutioncentre.co.nz.
So August is our winter sale month, up to 50% off. This winter hasn't been cold enough until now, but we have to get rid of all this stock. We've got all these jackets. Also to keep you warm and me happy, at 50% off, we've got all this knitwear. For all of August, we've got great savings on moleskins and jeans. Plus we've got all these warm shirts, look at them all, from $50.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
First in, best dressed.
Welcome back. The latest monthly regional tourism estimates show a strong start to the winter season with increased expenditure in every region. Otago led the way with $3.2 billion in spending by both domestic and international visitors. That's an 11% increase on June last year. In total, 6 regions saw expenditure of over $1 billion, something Associate Tourism Minister Paula Bennett attributes to hard work at both national and local levels. She says the government remains focused on the dispersal of visitors across New Zealand to make sure all regions benefit from tourism spend. And on that note, let's take a look at today's markets. The NZX 50 has closed the day up 4 points. It's now at 7,306, and the FTSE is up 26 points. And to the exchange rates, the Kiwi dollar is down against the yen, but we are up against the other currencies we follow. The Labour Party has this week been touting its new housing plan, with several MPs visiting South Dunedin to announce it. Dunedin South MP Claire Curran was one of those involved, and she joins us now to talk about it. Good evening.
Good evening.
What is the Labour Party's long-term plan for South Dunedin?
Well, we've announced what's called an affordable housing authority, which is what we would set up should we be elected next year. Which isn't just about South Dunedin. It's a much bigger plan for urban renewal across New Zealand. But South Dunedin is one of the parts of New Zealand which is being targeted as being really important and needs urban renewal. It means working central government, working with local government, with local organisations such as Presbyterian Support, Methodist Mission, other organisations like that, iwi where it's appropriate, to ensure that there's a plan for a part of the city, and South Dunedin is an important part, for urban renewal. And I think what's great about this is that it's the first really positive announcement that we've heard about South Dunedin. And it shows that, central government, should Labour be elected, wants to be a part of driving change there and ensuring that there's a future.
What do you think are the issues currently in South Dunedin?
Oh, well, right now the issues are cold, damp houses. I mean, there's something like 18,000 houses in Dunedin which are cold and damp and aren't up to scratch. A lot of them are in the South Dunedin area, which is bigger than just South Dunedin, by the way. It's about 6 or 7 different suburbs. High electricity prices, particularly during winter. Children particularly getting sick. There's a very high incidence of admissions at hospital due to respiratory problems linked to the poor quality of housing, and low incomes. So those are the issues right there now. We know there are longer term issues. We know that there is a slowly rising water table. We know there are issues there, but it's a really important part of Dunedin. It's flat. Older people, people with disabilities, a lot of people live in the area because of it being flat, and it's a good place to grow up. There's lots of schools, lots of organisations there. So, and it's too big, I guess I would say it's too big to fail. And it's a big part of Dunedin, and it needs to have a positive future, so that's why we're targeting it.
With the groundwater issues or potential issues, do you think it's wise to do further building in South Dunedin?
Look, I don't think there's any issues about further building in South Dunedin as long as it's done sensibly. And council has been doing some work on this. I think they could be communicating with the community more clearly about it, but I do think that there are positive signs out there. There's lots of development happening if you go and drive around, but it lacks services, it lacks a plan, it lacks a vision, it lacks a sense of, a really strong positive future, which is why central government needs to come to the party. The Labour Party's put a stake in the ground, literally, around it. The current government hasn't, and has sort of got its fingers in its ears, really, when it comes to places like South Dunedin.
If the Labour Party got in, the Affordable Housing Authority became a real thing, how long do you think it would be before we saw change?
Yeah, I think within 2 years you'd start to see real change starting to happen. It certainly can't do urban renewal overnight, and it may take 1 or 2 terms to really see major change starting to happen. Council housing is really quite prevalent out in South Dunedin. One of the things that we could start by doing is doing some revitalisation of the social housing, the council housing out in South Dunedin to show leadership. But that's going to take a partnership approach, and that's why the Labour Party's saying we need to work together.
Are the local housing problems different to what other centres are experiencing?
Well, yes and no. There's cold, damp housing all around New Zealand, particularly in the South Island. But it's affordable housing, it's poor quality housing, and it's the need for regional development, for signs of life in regional New Zealand. And if the Affordable Housing Authority is not just being dreamed up out of the blue by the Labour Party, it's based on models that exist overseas that are delivering real change. In Victoria, in Australia for instance, there's Places Victoria, which has developed their Docklands area, parts of Wodonga, the Dandenongs. I don't know if people know where that is, but they are actually significant developments. Similar sort of arrangement. It's actually shown real renewal in regional parts of Australia and important parts of Melbourne itself. So I think it's exciting. It's a new idea, and I think I hope New Zealanders will embrace it.
What do you think is likely to happen to South Dunedin if this Affordable Housing Authority doesn't come to fruition?
Well, there has to be a plan, a vision, and you've got to have central government, local government, organisations, the South Dunedin Action Group, which is forming out there, which has got a lot of people involved now who really care about the area. You've got to have them working together with the same objectives, and it needs a will. At the moment, there's no plan. There's, a lot of question marks, and there's been, some real conflict in the community, and leadership is what's needed, I suppose. That's the catalyst for change and hope. And I think our city deserves it. And that part of Dunedin is the gateway to the beaches, it's the gateway to the Otago Peninsula. It's a really important part of Dunedin. People need to back it.
Dunedin South MP Claire Curran, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, St Paul's outgoing music director tells us what he's going to miss about Dunedin. And there is snow on the way. Details soon.
Help delay the signs of ageing with Collagen Plus from Silberhorn. Collagen Plus helps supplement your body's own natural production of collagen, giving you firmer, healthier, younger looking skin, shinier, healthier hair and stronger nails. It's restoring your beauty from within, and it's great value. 3-month supply, that's 180 capsules, is just $98. We'll pay the courier charge to you, and we'll give you a luxurious face cream as well. Beauty from the inside and the outside. Give us a call today, 0800 502 402.
You can make a difference for the SPCA this Cupcake Day. It's the sweetest way to help animals in need. For more details, go to spcacupcakeday.co.nz. We need your help to rebuild our animal centre urgently. Please give a little today.
We're a 25 Moray Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. We're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Driving Miss Daisy is a safe, friendly and reliable companion driving service.
Hello Jean, where are we off to today?
We form genuine friendships with our clients and help them to remain independent. Thousands of Driving Miss Daisy clients and their families love our caring, affordable service. Call us today for a quote on 0800 948 432 or visit drivingmissdaisy.co.nz. Driving Miss Daisy, for the gift of independence.
Mobility Solutions Centre Dunedin provides products to improve your independence, comfort and safety. Contact the team at 4777 195 or visit mobilitysolutioncentre.co.nz.
We need your help to rebuild our animal centre urgently. Please give a little today.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Welcome back. Motorists are being urged to drive with care over the coming days, with snow forecast to hit the South Island from this afternoon. The New Zealand Transport Agency says the wintry weather is likely to affect several elevated areas, including Dunedin's northern motorway. The anticipated snowfalls are expected to continue through the weekend, with Met Service forecasting snow below 500 metres in some parts of Otago and Southland. Drivers planning to cross any of the region's high passes, including Arthurs and Lindis, are being encouraged to carry chains in case of heavy snowfall. St Paul's Cathedral is set to lose its Director of Music in just a few days. Organist George Chittenden is off to Sweden to take up a prestigious role at an ancient church. And while he's excited about the new job, he says there's plenty he'll miss about living in Dunedin.
Taking a last look around, Director of Music George Chittenden is in his final few days at St Paul's Cathedral. He's getting set to take up a new role as an organist within a medieval church in Helsingborg, Sweden.
I'm very excited for the new position in Sweden. Very sad to be leaving Dunedin as well. I've had 5 really enjoyable, I feel very rewarding years here. But I'm very excited for the new opportunities and possibilities that there are in Scandinavia.
He says he's looking forward to the move and the new role, but he says there's plenty he'll miss about Dunedin.
I'll certainly miss the great community spirit in Dunedin, the fact that there's a fantastic classical music network, that people are very supportive of concerts and the arts. Certainly miss the wonderful landscape and scenery as well, particularly seeing the Otago Peninsula over the last few days. That's something that will really stay with me forever.
While Chittenden found out about the new role a few months ago, he says he's only just tied up one final loose end.
About 6 months ago I started recording a CD of Baroque organ music on our wonderful cathedral organ here. And I got about halfway through the project, and then when I realised I'd be leaving, I thought, well, this is an excellent reason for me to finish my project as soon as I possibly can. So I've done a lot more recording recently and had the CD produced and mastered and the booklets printed, and now it's available for sale.
The cathedral is currently in the process of finding a replacement organist, with an appointment likely before the end of the year. For Chittenden, though, he's just focused on the busy few days ahead, with a valedictory organ recital, choir concert and 2 final Sunday services to go. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. Volunteers are getting ready for an annual public sleepout in the Octagon in order to raise money and awareness for the city's homeless. An artistic project centred around the former Carisbrook site is entering its next stage as its creator prepares to launch a book. And the woman responsible for establishing several miniature libraries in Dunedin is looking forward to seeing others set up beyond the city. It's time now to find out what's going to be in Friday's Otago Daily Times, and we're joined by Deputy Editor Craig Page. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, we've finally got some positive news for the dairy industry, with the Mataura Valley Milk Company announcing today it's going to spend $200 million in building a new factory near Gore. Milk milk powder factory, focusing on infant formula. So it's been an on and off project really since 2008. They've struggled to find the money, but they've now got 70% interest from a Chinese company, which has allowed them the money to press on. So
that is great news.
It is great news. 60 jobs in the Gore area, and really a welcome shot in the arm for the dairy industry, which has taken a bit of a hammering in recent months with milk prices.
Absolutely.
Not so good news for the DCC. We've got planner Glenn Hazelton announcing that he is resigned and will be leaving the city. He's been one of the key people behind the revitalisation of the historic precinct down there in Vogel Street area. He won't say too much about where he's going or what he's up to, but has had a bit of a crack at some of the knockers around the city who make it difficult to get things done. We've talked to a lot of developers who've got nothing but praise for Glenn. He's just enabled people to get together and talk and build on that area. He's also been seen down there pulling weeds out of gardens, so he's a real deal. So he's going to be a huge loss for the city. And with sport and racing lift out tomorrow as well, and a big focus on the Highlanders as they head to South Africa in their semi-final, early hours of Sunday morning, 1 o'clock I think it is our time. So Steve Hepburn's had a look at the sides and where the various strengths and weaknesses are, and hopefully we can pull off a win.
Big weekend for the Highlanders.
It is
indeed. Thank you, Craig. Tomorrow's ODT. It's time now for local weather.
This 39 Dunedin News weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Emu Oil.
Here is today's city view. It's taken of the entrance to Walkery Hospital. And around the city at 3 o'clock today, 9 degrees for the central city, 10 at the Gardens and 11 out on the Tyree. Well, to the situation, the airflow will tend southwesterly and become colder from tomorrow and through the weekend. What that means around the lower South Island tomorrow is showers and strong westerlies for Invercargill and Te Anau. Westerlies with some cloud for Gore and Alexandra, both on 10 degrees. Westerlies and some cloud also for Queenstown, Wanaka and Twizel, all on 10, but a fine day for Oamaru with 11 degrees. And Dunedin tonight we are expecting some showers, but they are expected to clear. Tonight's low 4 degrees. Tomorrow sunny periods at first with cold sou'westers dying out, then a period of light nor'easters before westerlies freshen in the afternoon and evening with high cloud increasing 11 degrees. And on Saturday that's when things turn to custard. Wintry showers with snow to 300 metres, cold sou'westers but a high of 10. It's nice to make double figures. Finally to the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information. High tide tomorrow morning is at 20 to 12, low tide follows at 25 to 7. And fishing conditions will be best at 10 past 8 tomorrow morning. And that is local news for Thursday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.